Yep, another day in the life of Charlie the driver. Take this load here, take that load there. Fight the traffic. Stay on schedule. Find a place to park it. Always got to struggle to find a place to park it. But hey, this one's a piece of cake. Then there's the paperwork. Always the paperwork. Okay, now just ease yourself as close to the door as you can. Then there's the boss. Always the boss. Says no more trucks for you. Says you're gonna start driving the van. Well, it's better than walking. You know, you really are a good driver. Boss didn't have to go that far. I mean, you had a great safety record until now. Right, Charlie? Right. Oh, that did it. You go home now, and no pay for the rest of the day. Yep, you really do try, but darn it, most of your job is moving forward, not backward. You just don't get that much practice moving backward. Well, there's always a new day. And the boss. Always the boss. Guess he's determined to put a stop to these banking accidents. Now watch this. He's going to show you how it's done. Starting with your own car at the scene of yesterday's little incident. The third incident, that is. See, parking lots kind of fool you into thinking you're on safe territory because you're off the streets. And people are concentrating on either getting in or getting out, not really watching for that other guy. Now, in some parking lots like this one, maybe you don't have to back at all. Like this guy. He pulled in through an empty space, crossed the line, and wound up nose out. A good idea under safe conditions. Another option is to park on the street, if you can do that right. Now, if you must back, you gotta use your head a lot. Both for seeing and for thinking. And keep your cool. Anger can be dangerous. And move real slow. You got a lot of blind spots here. But you can gradually see through them if you do it this way. Now, here's the kind of blind spots the boss is talking about for this situation. Okay, now let's take the van. Incident number 2. First thing with any vehicle is to case the territory all around it. See if there's any obstacles, you know? See, when you were driving, Charlie, your eyes were on the rear, one way or the other, all the time. But watch what the boss is doing now. He's also checking out the front end. You know? The part that you forgot. The front end is like a whip. I mean, it whips around when you turn and back at the same time. And then there's these fixed objects that you'd swear were never there. Things that you just plain overlooked, Charlie. Okay, in summary, no matter what you're driving, remember this. If you have to back, know your complete surroundings first. Then scan both ends when you start moving. And move slow. Buy some time to react and decide. And your mirrors, well, learn to understand exactly what they're saying. They don't always give you the whole story. Here's an idea of your blind spots for the van. Much bigger and a lot different than for your car. Okay? Okay, let's take your truck, your ex-truck, right back to the scene of yesterday's incident. Yep, incident number 1. See, when you pulled into that spot yesterday, there was some open space behind you, and you'd planned to back into it. That was your first, error. Then you started fooling with your paperwork before you got your rig settled. That was your second, error. Then you just blindly trusted that the rear was still clear because it was just a second ago. You checked your mirrors. Great. But your mirrors just can't see around corners. And sure enough, somebody had slipped in behind you while you were looking at your papers. And balam! So, here's what you should have done. You should have gotten out and looked all around your truck before backing. Or better yet, you shouldn't have backed at all. Simple. Okay? Okay. Now, here's your blind spots for a truck. You can get a lot of cars behind it before your mirrors can see the last one. There's a big blind spot below you, too, horizontally, all along both sides. So you gotta either get out and look around before backing, or get help from a good navigator on the outside. In your case, Charlie, maybe both. Get out and get help. Okay, let's head back to the docks. Since it's forward most of the way, maybe you can handle it. Think you can handle it, Charlie? Now the boss has a few more things to say, but you keep your eyes on your driving. First thing he says is, it's amazing there's so many backing accidents, since most people are going forward most of the time. But that's the point. You don't get enough practice moving backward. Neither does your vehicle. See, your rear wheels are used to being pulled, not pushed. They're not all that responsive when you push them. Now, boss says, backing can be a bad habit. But if you must back, remember this. Like he said before, check out the territory. Then go slow and be careful. Keep thinking about the blind areas. Watch both the front and the rear. Then you know what he says next? He says, if you don't want to have a backing accident, don't back. I don't know, Charlie, that doesn't seem right. Or does it? Well, the boss says it's right, at least sometimes. All you gotta do is try to find a better place to pull in where you can let your front wheels do the leading. Boss says there are lots of other ways to keep from backing. Just gotta use your head and plan ahead, you know? Now the boss starts talking about some really boring stuff. But pay attention, Charlie, because this part really gets him. He says the company pays a lot of money for your mistakes. You say, but it's only a scratch here, a small dent there, maybe a bumper got twisted. What's the big deal? Well, this really gets him. It's not just the repair, he says. There's also the cost of the paperwork, the accident report, the insurance forms, all the clerical time involved, the accident investigation committee, the boss's boss, the boss's boss's boss, all that chewing out time, his time. And last but not least, your time. And it all adds up to a bundle. Okay, Charlie, it's the docks. Think you can cut it? I mean, you could get canned real easy. Says the boss. Now, you'd think he could say more than just, wouldn't you? Says, looks like all this brush-up training worked out fine for you. Says he doesn't know what you'd do without him. Then you know what he says next? He says, if you can keep your record clean, he'll give you back your truck. And maybe he'll give you a raise in, maybe 6 months down the road. Nice going, Charlie.